Hey there, Doughboy here, and I'm gonna cut right to the chase, because even though this is only a 3-minute long trailer, there is actually quite a bit of information in it. The first thing I want to talk about is something Big Boss says. When the time comes, I'll pull the trigger. Who was he talking about pulling the trigger on? Zero? Skullface? A friend? Himself? Who's he talking about? Maybe he knows that he is losing it, like I believe he is, and has to stop himself before it goes too far. I don't know, it's just a theory. The trailer also shows off some more of Afghanistan and Africa, including a look at a huge mansion that I think is the same one we got a glimpse of in previous trailers. They have shown it several times, and it's probably the home of someone very important. I don't know who though. We also see various different soldiers, including what appears to be a Russian soldier in chemical defense gear, which could mean there is a biological or chemical agent affecting people, which would explain the purple patches seen on the abdomen of an African man previously. We also get a good look at how vast the Afghanistan map is as it turns from a sunny day into a raging thunderstorm, showing off some more of the dynamic weather. A very quick scene then shows what appears to be gas flares or small flare stacks. A flare stack is a gas combustion device used in industrial plants, such as petroleum refineries, chemical plants, natural gas processing plants, as well as at oil or gas production sites, having oil wells, gas wells, offshore oil and gas rigs, and landfills. Which would make sense, since oil is a big resource in Africa and Afghanistan. However, I would like to also point out that these flare stacks are used in chemical plants as well. Perhaps this is a plant creating a chemical weapon that is being developed by Skullface. Now, living in Pennsylvania, where there's a lot of natural gas drilling, I've seen quite a few of these things. They're usually pretty tall, but I guess they can be short, like seen in this trailer. So that's probably what this is. We then see D-Horse with some different gear than has been shown previously. It looks as though the gear extends from his back, up his neck, and is topped off with a completely different headgear. And the trailer shows a few pretty good shots of D-Horse. It then shows that lights can be shot out to be more stealthy, which isn't really anything new, but it's good to see that it's still around. It then says, uncover the truth. The truth about what? Before who sounds like Code Talker says, the dream of every ruler. I'm not sure what he could be talking about here, but his name is Code Talker after all. He also says that Skullface plans to become a nuclear power, which would make him a serious threat to the rest of the world. Snake's gonna have to put a stop to that. Then we get a glimpse of Big Boss fighting the Burning Phantom, riding on horseback. Looks like the Burning Vulcan looking Phantom guy will be a boss battle. And it also appears as though Big Boss is moving as well. I think this is after Snake escapes the hospital and is fleeing on horseback with Ocelot. Then we see another possible boss battle, with the fight against what looks like a Harrier jet. I'm no expert as far as jets go, but I would say it is a Harrier since it was already an MGS2, and Kojima has a habit of reusing vehicle bosses. Also, the Harrier fits into the timeline, since it first entered service in the mid-80s. Snake and Quiet are firing at the Harrier jet from the helicopter, which makes me think that that is how the battle will unfold. Shooting the Harrier from the helicopter, kind of like an on-rail shooter, like the first part of the Intel operative rescue in Ground Zeroes. Next, Kaz says we've only got two options. Heaven, as it shows Snake walking through a room where candles are lighting by themselves. The same room that has been shown in previous trailers and scenes with Code Talker. Or Hell, as it shows scenes of the Burning Phantom wreaking havoc. Then Snake says, no, there's another. Now, I know there are several different paths you can take in the game, but does this mean that you can choose sides and maybe get different endings? Maybe a good, evil, and neutral side? Kind of like the Infamous games, or like being able to change the game's ending in the original Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation 1? I'm not so sure about that, because I think it was already confirmed that the game will have one ending, with different branches of story throughout, but I could be wrong. We then see the Burning Phantom and Psycho Mantis wreaking havoc on more guys, which made me think of something. Perhaps the Burning Phantom is like a poltergeist created by Mantis. Mantis' mother died giving birth to him, and his father hated him for it. But one day Mantis read his father's mind, and discovered his father's deepest hatred for him, and out of fear for his life, Mantis burned his village down, killing his father in the process. And Volgin was probably well known within Russia, so being born in Russia, Mantis undoubtedly would have heard about Volgin, especially since Mantis would also later join the Russian military service, and the fact that they are both kindred spirits, that they just seem to enjoy killing people. So maybe this phantom is a combination of his fears and his joys, his evil father, the villain, and his hero, Volgin. Then the trailer ends with Ocelot saying, "What goes around comes around. You can't run from yourself forever." Perhaps this is Ocelot saying that Big Boss has to face his inner demons, and move on from the phantom pains within him. Or perhaps it is a bit of foreshadowing for the theory that Big Boss and Skullface become the same person at some point during the phantom pain. Guess we'll have to just wait for September 1st to find out. This has been Doughboy with Hardcore Academy, and peace out.